Hey Swifties, and anyone who might be watching this that loves movement and knows that they have to keep their movement going no matter what the case is, because that keeps them well physically and also mentally. Now, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about keeping you guys moving is because from my nursing days. Now, I know if you keep a body still for longer or don't have it doing its usual motions for more than 24 to 72 hours, then guess what? Our range of movement starts to decrease. The fascial network inside of us starts to get more sticky, it gels down, it makes us feel emotionally kind of trapped in our own bodies. And that's only after, in some cases, 24 hours, in some cases, 72 hours. So we need to keep our bodies moving. I am so passionate about that for just overall wellness. And I know all of you guys that are involved in Swift Fitness know how passionate I am about it. So no matter what happens with our environment, lockdown, no lockdown, we are here to support you guys to keep a range of movements going so that your tissue can continue to function no matter what stress or whatever movement you put on it. So this video is a short video. I'm going to try and keep it to about 3 minutes. Let's see how I go, of giving you guys suggestions on how to keep moving with certain objects. Because if you've got objects in your world that allow and help you to move, it just makes it a bit more fun. It makes it a bit more attainable. So let's get started. So one of the first things that you definitely need to be able to keep doing is creating shear friction and compression in our body through a technique that we call roll and release at Swift. So there are a couple of objects you need. I will go cheapest object first is your own hands. So we do a lot of rubbing and scrubbing at Swift to warm up fascial tissue, to warm up connective tissue, to keep it going. And we do lots of videos about that to show you how you can achieve it. Because it's like if you had a cold day and honey in a pot and it was all hard. What you do is warm it up and then all of a sudden it becomes movable. Your tissue and your connective tissue is exactly the same. So we want to keep it moving. Now, above using our hands, some of the tools that we use at Swift is we use what we call grid rollers, and we use various techniques with these. The other ones that we use for our roll and release classes are our MB1 balls. And this, I would have to say, would be the best, most usable tool that we do to keep our tissue not from sticking. The other one that we use for it is we use a Gertie ball. So the Gertie balls, when they're blown up, look like these. And there's a straw in there that you can blow them up. We use this to roll and release our tissue in the areas that are a bit more fragile. So back of the neck, into our abdomen, our lower back, because it's a bit softer with that. The other thing we do use that you might find around your house, because your kids might have it, is a high bounce ball. I'm just going to grab mine. So something like that. From there, has a bit more give, and we roll and release a few areas in that. So they're the items that I would definitely recommend if you were doing roll and release classes. So your grid roller, your MB1 ball, and your Gertie ball from here. Okay, so after we've rolled and released our tissue, which is needed before we do any type of movement, then we want to look at classes like our move and tone. So move and tone is the class that we do that comes so close to how you move around your daily world. Now, a couple of objects that we use in move and tone. One of the ones that we use quite regularly is a resistant band. Now, if you don't have a resistant band, one, we use our red resistant bands and you can get them off us. The other thing that you can use is a stocking. Just be mindful, the stockings will lose their stretch relatively quickly, but I want to provide items that you guys can use that you might just find around your home, not just stuff that you then feel that you can purchase from us. Now, remember, everything you can get from us, and we're happy to do a non-contact delivery with it. But like I said, I want to give those of you that just might not need to spend the money at the moment, just some objects that you can find around your home. So a stocking or our red resistant bands, which are really popular and we use through all our classes and all our online sessions. So the other thing that you would use for move and tone Definitely a chair. So we use a chair a lot. That you will have as a household item. The other thing that we use is dumbbells. Now, the cheap version is getting 2 water bottles and filling them with water or sand. Now, if you fill them with water, that will give you about 700 grams each, okay? And that is definitely doable and definitely a good way to source some weighted movement without spending any money. The other one that otherwise, obviously the other alternative is to get some dumbbells. So these are the dumbbells we can provide at Zwift. We've got 1 kilo dumbbells and we've got 2 kilo dumbbells at Zwift. And they are all you would need to use in a move and tone, because move and tone is light loaded exercise in 3D directions. So 1 kilo and 2 kilos is what you can get from us. All right, moving on. The other thing you need is a stick. So the non-financial option is to then just get a broomstick at home and to be able to use that. And we use them through lots of different ranges of motion, lots of different exercises. You will be surprised how much you can do with a stick. However, if you're wanting a little bit more, then these are our stick mobility sticks. I love them because they've got grip handles on them. They're the size that you can grip into quite easily. They're really comfortable. They're a 4 foot. We also sell a 5 foot, and you can use them. And once again, we do various movement patterns with them, using a lot of what we call ground force and also environmental forces with it. So we like our sticks because they keep us long and strong. So that's the stick from here. All right, what else do we use in move and tone? A balloon is always handy. So if you don't have a balloon at home, see if you can source a balloon. Otherwise, if you don't have a balloon, or some people choose not to want to buy balloons, and I completely respect that, then maybe a light kid's toy or a ball that you can bounce around, similar to how you would do a balloon, is all good and all fine, and you might find one of those around your house. All right, so we've done resistant band. We've done, the other thing that we use in move and tone is we use our cushions. So we do a Yoga Nice rectangular cushion from here. I like these ones because they have a bit more weight going on in them. So when we're kind of using them for various movement patterns, you can hold them long ways or you can hold them short ways. And you can also use them in our yoga classes from here. Otherwise, obviously, the non-financial option is just to use a cushion in your own home, and they can be of various sizes and various weights, and you can see how you might be able to alter that. So they're our cushions. All right, I think I've gone through everything that we need in move and tone. So resistant bands. So the other thing I need to talk about is the ground that you walk on or exercise move on in move and tone. So I'm on a Naboso proprioceptive mat. The most important thing that I really want to stress when you're moving at home is that I do not want you on a thick camping mat. We have receptors on the bottom of our feet that are so important to get activated. As soon as we put them on something that's soft and spongy, they switch off. Or it's like putting a blindfold over them. So they don't tell your brain as fast as they should what type of movement or pressure is coming into the body. So this is so critical. So if you're at home at the moment, you're starting to get into your exercise program, please don't use spongy mats at home. Try and get best, even if you're using just the floorboards in your own home, preferably not tiles because they'll be too cold and hard, but definitely floorboards are your best option. And if you need a mat, we love our proprioceptive mats. So these have little spiky things coming up on them. They actually feel really cool to walk on, not like they're not painful. They just really feel like they're waking up your foot muscles, which is so important. So if you want one of the mats, you've got the Naboso mats. The other ones that we recommend for yoga is our yoga mat, but we will only use 4 millimeter or a 6 millimeter thickness at most. Any more than that is going to just affect the way you move in a not a great way. So in move and tone, however, it's either the floor or a Naboso mat. I would even prefer you not on a yoga mat, okay? So we really need to keep those nervous systems awake at the bottom of our feet when we're moving and doing things relatively quickly, and then keep our yoga mats for our yoga sessions or our Pilates sessions. So we've got the yoga mats available and the Naboso mats available. All right, so moving on, the other thing coming into Pilates. So if you are doing Pilates, definitely your Naboso training mat is great for stimulating the feet and the hands and the body to lie on. So once again, coming back to the training mats. Otherwise, you can also just purchase one of our standing mats. So these are smaller square mats, and you can just pop your feet on them to then move through them. You might put it on your thinner yoga mat, so you've got some proprioception through your feet. And what else, guys? So then for our Pilates, a lot of you guys will need resistant bands. So once again, you can use your stocking. I always want to give people options that, you know, you can find around your own home. Otherwise, if you have your red band, you can use that. But we do the resistant type bands, the TheraBands, and a lot of our Pilates instructors prefer these ones in Pilates just because they have different properties compared to the ones that we use in Move and Tone and Strong Bones and Bodies. So we have those TheraBands available if you want to get one of those from us. Otherwise, in Pilates, we can also use smaller bands. Now you can get one of the larger bands and pop them around and tie them around your legs if you're using them, but we also have the micro bands. So it's a bit more of a smaller loop that you can use in the Pilates sessions from there. Once again, we will use the Gurdy balls from here. Now, I want to give another option for the Gurdy balls. So if you don't have a Gurdy ball, the non-financial option is to roll up a towel or to get a cushion with a decent amount of height, or maybe you kind of push it up, squash it over on each other. You can then use a cushion, okay? So that's your other option if you don't want to purchase something like a Gurdy ball. All right, so Pilates. The other one is the back pillows that we use. If you are interested in it, I don't have one on me right now, but if you are interested in the back pillows that we use in the Pilates session, please just call out and I'll make sure that we can get them to you as well. Okay, where are we up to, guys? Stick mobility. So in stick mobility classes, and we all love a good stick mobility class because we really want length and strength. Once again, coming back to your broomstick, or the alternative is to get a proper 4-foot stick, which once again, when you get it, does feel a lot better than just your broomstick. The other thing is that we work with tall sticks. Now, your alternative to not spending money is that we can, and always in my sessions online, we do use the wall. Okay, so we use the wall for height. If you are, however, looking at some longer sticks, it just means that you can get into some of these longer stretches and strength exercises. Once again, you don't need to get 2, you can actually get 1 from here. So 1 or 2, and then you can find that you've got a fair bit more range and function you can do with the 2 sticks. Okay, so that is our stick mobility. Once again, don't forget, it's not about spending money. You can find things around your house to do it. However, with the right tools, and I love toys, I love them because they just get me and enable me to move my body a bit more and put a bit more into my sessions. So we've gone through, I'm just sort of tracking around everything that I've got to show you. Coming into our yoga classes. So if you need a yoga bolster at home, then please, we have them as well. So, and then it's to all the yoga guys, please make sure when you're coming into the studio, you have your own bolster, okay? Just in relation to the aspect of the virus that's going around, I really don't like to be sharing anything that is material overlay. I would prefer it that you guys had your own. So we've got the bolsters, but once again, if you don't want to do a long bolster, you can then do one of the short pillows as well for that. Coming back, and we talked about the yoga mats. So making sure that your yoga mat is no more than 6 millimeters. This one is a 4 millimeter that I'm holding up, and we do 6 and 4s. And then you've also got your yoga cork blocks that you can get off us as well. Okay, so, but if you don't have a yoga cork block at home, trying to find something that's just as stable and similar to those cork blocks. I think I've actually gone through everything that you guys would need. In Strong Bones and Bodies, we use resistant bands, so that you've got your 2 resistant bands, preferably 2. You can get away with 1, and the instructors are taught how to teach with just 1. And what we do is we tie a knot in the end of it, and that goes through a door frame, and you close the door. Okay, so, and then you can do it high, you take it out to put it at your medium anchor, and you take it down low to do your low anchor. If you've got 2 of them, it just means that you've got 2 handles to be able to do, say, a double push. Okay, so having the 2 is great. Once again, if you've got resistant bands already, you can use them. Some of you may need to make up what we call a stocking anchor on that, and I've done various YouTube clips and clips that you'll find on the online membership for the stocking anchor and how to create it, which is basically 2 sponges in a short stocking, tie up the end, put the stockings over the door so you've got a loop. It's a bit MacGyverish. And then you can thread your resistant band through that loop, and that way you can find yourself with 2 anchors as well. So, but like I said, that's in another video. I'm just looking around. So Strong Bones and Bodies, definitely your resistant bands, definitely 2 good dumbbells is also going to help. But once again, water bottles if you need to go on that cheaper alternative. Looking around, a couple of other things with your roll and release. Some of you don't like to get down on the floor, and that is all good because we're working on tissue still. So you've also got the choice of a grid stick. And a lot of my sales guys will carry this around in their car to then do their rolling while they're in between driving, just to keep their tissue nice and supple during the day. So we've talked about that. I think we're nearly done. And then we've got weighted balls. And a lot of us use these either as weights, or we use them for ankle strengthening, to put them between our legs to be able then do our, what we call our heel risers. And that just gets a little bit strength. And some of the other classes will use them for various things as well. So that's our weighted balls. And then last of all, I just want to talk about things that maintain your whole health for your whole body that we can provide to you at Swift. So you've got a couple of things. So while we're in lockdown, we have at Swift a little bit of an addiction to vibration, a very healthy addiction to vibration. So we have what you call vibrational plates, but it's a harmonic vibration, meaning that when I turn on the vibration plates at Swift, you cannot see it move. So I'm not talking about something that goes up and down. I'm talking about a very fine-tuned vibration that helps us connect body to mind a little bit faster, body to brain a little bit faster. It does a whole lot of things in relation to circulation, lymphatic drainage, makes fascial tissue a lot more quality. So we have the 2 things that you might need while we're in lockdown, because you can't get on the plates and everybody loves, is the trigger point gun. Now, this isn't like every other trigger point gun, and believe you me, I've tested so many. So many of them pound at the body, and that is not what we want. I don't want it pushing stuff around. I want it vibrating. So when you use your vibration gun, you should be able to just, on the surface of your skin, it should be doing that really fast, not this kind of stuff. So I love our trigger point guns for that reason. And because the head of it is smaller than a lot of other trigger point guns, you'll be able to get into spots that you really need to get in. The other one, which is a slightly cheaper option, is our vibrational grid roller. And a lot of the guys love this to get into back and knees, different areas that they really need on their legs, hip flexors, and that way they can get their vibration and keep up with their vibration therapy especially while we're not in lockdown. So they are definitely my 2 biggest recommendations if you're looking for the vibrational therapy to keep your whole body well. And then last of all, list, These are our musts. Vitamin C at this time of year, definitely. When you are stressed and going through an environment like we are all going through, I cannot tell you how much vitamin C needs your body actually needs. Your vitamin C requirements go up exponentially, huge. So if you're not on a vitamin C, make sure you're on it. The hesperidin that our vitamin C has in it allows it to be better absorbed. And that's why we have that vitamin C. And then the other one that you definitely want in lockdown is magnesium. So we've got magnesium cream, you've got magnesium flakes that you can put a couple of flakes into water, throw it into a bath, and we've also got oil. Okay, so I don't think I stuck to my 3 minutes. I'm really sorry. So I hope I have given you lots of ideas on what you can use and what is required in each of our different classes. And I know I come across extremely passionate, but please remember, I have nursed so many people for so many years in our hospital system that I am extremely passionate about keeping you guys out of it for as long as possible. And that starts now. Okay, so make sure you keep up your rub and scrub, your roll and release practices, our move and tone, which is our 3-dimensional loading practices, our strong bones and bodies classes, which give you good, strong connective tissue and good, strong muscles, our yoga, which helps to lengthen, get a bit more parasympathetic nervous system, which brings our body back to calm and really centers us, our Pilates classes, which allow us to become strong and aware of our epicenter of our body, as well as so much awareness through those small, finer tuned movements that we really need through our day. Our strong bones and bodies, which allow us to become long and strong. And this is where most of the injuries in our world happen, when we are at length trying to deal with load. So we really want to love the stick mobility to get into that. And then obviously our meditation classes, because we need some center and some focus to be able to have a sense of wellness in mind that then contributes to our body as well. So I'm pretty sure I will have forgotten something in this, but I really hope I have put so much passion into you about wanting to stay moving your tissue, healthy with our tissue. Remember, our myofascial tissue takes 9 to 12 months to get healthy. So if you are coming from a point of not healthy myofascial tissue, it takes you 9 to 12 months to get healthy, and yet it can be reversed in a period of 24 to 72 hours. So this, knowing that statistic alone, if you are someone who's worked on multiple 3D movement in multiple ways like we do at Swift, you don't want to let a lockdown that goes for 7 days affect what you may have achieved or what you may be at the start of your journey achieving. You don't want to let it affect it in just a 7 day, because it reverses so fast and yet takes us such a long time to get to that health. But it needs to be done in a fun way. And that's why we're here, to make it fun and doable for all you guys. All right. Happy lockdown, everyone. I will see you all online. If you're watching this and you're not a Swiftie, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We would love to show you roll and release practices. We would love to get your tissue moving. We would love to show you a more intelligent way to move and to have fun with it. That is exactly what we're all about. Otherwise, guys, stay well, stay healthy, and keep moving. Bye for now.